Hi, Darko. Today I'm looking forward to talking to you about M&A. It's such a hotly debated topic in terms of when to do it and when not to. What is your view on what makes successful M&A and when it's good to do M&A?
I mean, every company in its life path basically encounters issues regarding how to grow. And while it's great if you can grow simply organically, in certain cases it really does make sense to consider inorganic growth, which basically includes M&A. So I would say that a company should consider M&A when it wants to grow really fast, when it wants to penetrate new markets, when it wants to faster also acquire the necessary resources it needs for its development.
And to what extent should a company have an M&A strategy as opposed to opportunistically buying companies that it sees come up at a good valuation?
Um, M&A strategy basically really helps you to drive your development, because if you're just waiting until something lands on your table, you will not achieve the results that you want in the time frame that you want to. So if you want to drive this and if you want to really develop your company further with M&A, you want to think about the strategy, how to approach that, what kind of targets you're looking for, and so forth.
Whether you're on buy side or sell side, it can be a really disruptive and expensive process. Are there any tips you have that would allow a company to screen possible targets early on without having spent too much time and resources on the process before deciding not to buy?
Well, I mean, you need to do your homework, right? So get as much data about the companies that you are considering as much as possible, so that you can look at that, analyze that, and try to figure out already beforehand, so before you start to reach out to them, whether or not they can be a fit for what you are trying to achieve. And by doing that, it's not enough to just look at the financials or their position in the market. You want and need to look also at how the company is set up, who runs it, who would run it afterwards, how do you see the culture of that company, is it a fit with yours, and so forth. If you do all of that as part of the homework, you will save a lot of time afterwards, and you will identify better targets than you would otherwise.
And when you're on the buy side, are there any important topics that are relevant that are not necessarily there when you're on the sell side?
Um, I mean, when you're on the sales side, you basically will move yourself out of the company at one point in time, either with the sale itself or in 1 or 2 years or so. On the buy side, you're basically jumping into a marriage, which means that you want to be sure and you want to make sure that you will be able to also merge the company to you, so that you will actually be able to reap the benefits out of the acquisition that you're about to make. So one thing to consider there is how exactly you would do that, and basically calculate that together with the effort itself of acquiring the company.
Okay, thank you very much for talking to us today about mergers and acquisitions.
Thanks, Anton. Interested to learn more? Visit www.dg180.ch and get in touch.